A few people have expressed surprise to me that spring arrives this year on March 19th, which seems early. And in fact, when spring starts at 11:49 p.m. on Thursday, it'll be the earliest vernal equinox since 1896. I think if you did a poll, March 21st would get the most votes for the day spring begins, and only half kiddingly, I think the sitcom Seinfeld is partly responsible. In one episode, the character George Costanza says,
March 21st, the first day of spring.
Spring, of course.
Huh? You know, spring, rejuvenation, rebirth, everything's blooming, all that crap.
The truth is, March 21st is more exception than rule. Since 1900, spring arrived on March 21st in the Eastern Time Zone just 36 times, and it won't be on March 21st again until the year 2103. Starting this year and for the next few decades, the vernal equinox will be on March 19th, once every 4 years. Now, the variation in the start of spring is mainly because a year isn't an integer number of days. It's about 365 and a quarter. So spring begins about 6 hours later each year until a leap year moves it a day earlier again. The gravitational pull of the moon and other planets affects the speed of Earth in its orbit, but this changes the time of spring's arrival by only about 10 minutes a year at most. And over long time scales, the Earth wobbles on its axis like a spinning top. This so-called precession changes the start time by about a minute a year, and these principles apply to the other seasons as well. So exactly what happens tomorrow when spring arrives? Well, let's go back 3 months to the first day of winter. At that time, sunlight was shining directly on the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees south of the equator. Since then, Earth has moved about a quarter of the way in its orbit. In doing so, the sun's direct rays have moved north, and tomorrow at 11:49 p.m. Eastern Time, they'll shine directly on the equator. Now, exactly where? Well, we have to head to the equator and then shift about 12 time zones, essentially halfway around the world to where it's solar noon. In this case, that'll be over Indonesia. Though it's common to say that day and night are equal lengths on the equinox, that's actually not the case. In State College, for example, that came closest to happening on Monday, while daylight tomorrow will be 12 hours and 8 minutes long. One reason is that the times of sunrise and sunset are taken when the top of the sun is on the horizon, not the center. You can blame the rest of the discrepancy on the atmosphere, which bends sunlight around the edge of the horizon. I'll finish by dispelling some folklore that you can only stand an egg on end on the first day of spring because of some special gravitational alignment. The truth is, it can be done any day of the year if you have enough patience, a smooth surface, and an egg with enough tiny bumps on its shell to help hold the egg up. By the way, all of my WxYz segments are archived on the Weather World website, weatherworld.psu.edu, just in case you need some fun and educational diversions in the weeks to come. Stay tuned, stay safe. Our extended forecast is next.